but I wanted to know your thoughts as a lawyer. What legal implications are actually involved in this? Is this going to be bad for Twitch? Is there, what's going to happen next in terms of the legal side of things for Twitch?
Yeah, no, in terms of the legal side of things, I think most of the issue here is going to be for Twitch. It's the leaker, at least in part one, appears to have mainly done this as like an expose on Twitch, on Twitch, and not really a, hey, let's screw all these streamers. Although I think a bunch of streamers now have potential causes of action. Let me actually preface this with, anything I say today is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. Consult a lawyer if you have actual questions about things. There you go.
Excellent. We needed to get that in there. Absolutely.
Yeah. But I think that, there's definitely some breaches of Twitch's privacy policy here.
Yeah.
I mean, we've dealt with issues about Twitch leaking or Twitch staff leaking individuals' revenue in their dashboards before.
Right.
If you recall, the former Twitch partner manager Hassan, he actually leaked a lot of his people's dashboards, like in jokes and DMs to his friends back in the day.
Right.
And so this is just that on a much larger scale. Now, what is really interesting is I'm taking a look at these numbers, and maybe you have some insight into this. I'm taking a look at these numbers, and being as familiar as I am with my clients' revenues that's on this list, one, I'm very proud of them for looking it up like a high scoreboard. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
But then secondly, what's interesting is it's not all accurate.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So it is definitely a subset of accuracy. Some of them are spot on and some of them aren't.
Okay. So are you saying that as if it's lowballed or highballed?
Some of them are lowballed.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And that's about as far as I can get into.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Diving in a little bit further with it, there is certainly information in this leak that is very concerning for some clients, but like nobody's address is out there, nobody's legal names are out there, that kind of thing. That information has almost certainly been compromised, though.
Right. Yeah.
Which means that I've been advising clients across the board to go ahead and invest in locking, frankly, things that'll help them lock their credit. Set up alerts on their personal information, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The repercussions for Twitch are that they have a class of people who might be able to sue them.
Ooh. Yeah, that's kind of what I was somewhat thinking here.
And you and I are in that class.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a serious concern for Twitch, and honestly, what's wild is that this has all been labeled under the Twitch Do Better movement,
mm-hmm.
which is hilarious because it's exposing that Twitch is not very careful with its security protocols.
So in terms of next bits of data that kind of, if there is more leaks to come, and just judging by this, it does seem to be that the data here does seem to be targeting Twitch more than it's targeting users, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they won't, or whoever's hacked this, whoever's got access to this, won't necessarily not share that information. At what point does Twitch need to worry, or is it just the fact that their income is out there, that alone could be enough to result in some kind of legal trouble for Twitch?
Yeah, so I mean, I think that could be enough on its own.
Okay.
Potentially. Now, it is definitely personal information. It is confidential information. It was not intended to be shared with anyone. I think that the next step will be, there's a lot of lawyers that are chatting right now behind the scenes about, hey, do we take action now or do we wait for the next leak?
Right.
Because we don't have any leads on who did this.
Right.
And we don't, and with the news that the leaks are as recent as, like, I think they said this Monday or maybe
October 1st. October 1st is when some of the data seems to have been, there's the most recent data in it.
Yeah, and so with that kind of recency, there's a serious concern of one is this exploit that allowed this data to get out there still out there and open.
Right.
Two, now that one person has shown that it can be done, will copycats pop up that don't care about doxing streamers?
Right.
That's the serious question that we're all worried about right now.
And yeah, exactly. And that's exactly it. Is to what extent could they potentially be doxed? Is it like all of your payment information? If they have their payment amounts, it's not a far step away to potentially assume that payment address, payment email, payment phone number that is attached to your account would potentially be included in that.
Yeah, and some of the stuff that's like absolutely buck wild about all of this is like if you look at the data, you see like I noticed on there King Gathalion has been off of Twitch for how long now?
Oh yeah,
and
since 2019, I think. 2020.
Still in the top 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, King Gathalion was on Mixer in 2020. So
right.
Yeah, I think it was 2018, 2019. And still in the top 40 on here. Which goes to show this data goes back a ways.
Yeah, well, it seems to be August 2019 seems to be when they suggest that it was around. Personal question. How much potential risk do I have if I show this kind of data on stream? So if I show
Zach.
people's...
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah, I don't recommend doing that.
Yeah.
As your lawyer friend, I do not recommend doing that.
Yeah.
Just because there are some people out there that are trying to put the cat back into the bag.
Right.
You know, you have a cat, you know how difficult it is to get them to do anything.
Yeah, trying to put it into a bag is very difficult. I get very hurt doing so.
Exactly, but you know, so there are people out there that are trying to put the cat back into the bag. It's out there, like
right.
I think the paste bin that like had the list has actually been taken down.
Yes, it has. Yeah,
I've seen a couple mirrors pop up already. So, yeah, no, don't show it because there's definitely people that'll come after you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
that's what I figured when I was like, yeah, we'll go live to talk about this, but I don't think I can show anything confidently. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in that realm of sharing this kind of information.
What's really interesting is that this might represent breaches of contract with some of these exclusively signed streamers in terms of confidential information clauses, which could open the door for those of them that were eyeing a move after the Lupo and Tim transitions to YouTube. Could open the door for them to turn in their, hey, I got a better offer from YouTube. I'm terminating the contract based on this confidentiality breach.
Right.
Peace out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, this is not
to say that I'm actively going into that for anybody.
Sure,
That's
no,
just
of course.
speculation.
You're talking at a high level, of course.
Yeah.
You probably won't know this, but internally at Twitch, what do you think the kind of the legal approach that they're like what and again, I don't know if you'll know this, but what would be their next steps in terms of how they address the public? They've already addressed it via Twitter, saying, hey, we recognize that this data is legitimate and it's happened. What would their next communication with the community likely be? It
has to be open and transparent. And it cannot. So, you know, in massive leaks like this, Twitch actually has a duty to notify in certain cases.
Okay.
And they need to notify their users and partners and whoever's had their information exposed. This is what happened. This is what we're investigating. This is what may have been exposed. You need to take these steps. What we already know is that, yeah, your passwords have probably been exposed. Your addresses, your stream keys, your everything has probably been exposed. And so while you can't necessarily change your address very easily, you can certainly change your passwords and stream keys. This also, quite frankly, highlights how useful it is to run your business on Twitch, like your streaming company, through an actual LLC.
Yeah.
Because then all they can get is the LLC name and address.
Yeah.
Which is super useful. And I think that we're going to see more of a transition to that here soon.
Okay.
I do not think that Twitch is going to move rapidly.
Right.
because they never do.
They don't. That's not a Twitch thing to do.
That is not a Twitch thing to do. But I think that they have learned from the hate raids, from the DMCA, from everything. We've got to do something here.
Right.
While they probably won't rush it, I hope. Oh my God, I hope that their response will be measured and well thought out. Twitch is on the thinnest device right now.
Right.
And so they, I think they're going to see a massive flock to YouTube no matter what happens here.
Yeah, this is definitely this is very bad for Twitch. My thinking here, and tell me if I'm wrong, but if there is going to be some level of legal repercussions from streamers saying, hey, this is some kind of class action, is this the thing that breaks the camel's back? Does Amazon go, you know what? Yeah, we got to fold this thing down. Let's the code is broken. There's too much out there. There's too much access. It's costing too much. It's not profitable. Shut it down. Is that a possibility in all of this, do you think?
I'm not going to rule it out, but I'm not going. I'd say it's a less than 1% chance that they shutter everything because of this.
Right.
What it might do is it might accelerate Amazon's timeline and pressure on Emmett and the rest to figure it out. Because right now they're like, oh yeah, we got a win, which frankly they didn't get a win on the DMCA front, but they pretended to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got a win there, and then immediately this comes.
Right.
And oh hey, we just sued two guys randomly in an ineffectual lawsuit in the hate raid situation. Oh man, now
we have information out there. Now we're being sued.
Yeah, and I think that it was funny because I saw a world in which Twitch could be acquired a few months ago, and now there's just too much liability.
Yeah.
I mean, they would have to disclaim liability. They'd have to pay out a settlement. It could be possible that Twitch, as pays out people who have been affected, and tries to pay for monitoring services,
right?
Credit monitoring for 2 months or whatever, which they've historically occasionally done before with certain catastrophic information releases. So I think Twitch is not a safe platform right now.
No,
it's not safe to stream on. It's not a safe investment. There's nothing that I would associate with safe on Twitch right now.
Yeah. I think that hate raids exposed one element of that. This is definitely a completely different level of lack of safety.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to sit here and say, the sky is falling, because our day-to-day doesn't really change from this leak. You're still live. Baru just went live with, I'm only number 26 as his stream title. It's a meme right now, but I do think that it exposes a much larger overarching concern that we're going to see play out over the course of the next few months.
It probably hasn't hit for most people. Again, I think most people are under the guise of, hey, this is just the financial data of the top 10,000. That's the most interesting part of it. Whereas all the other stuff is, that hurts Twitch. It makes Twitch an open source platform, essentially, with all the stuff that's leaked. But yeah, we don't necessarily know what's next. And I've seen some indication on some sites that I track that seems to suggest there is more coming.
Yeah.
And so I actually Shay Roz in the chat said, if streamers are doxxed from this, the stalkers will swarm on their victims. Not okay. That's another layer of this that obviously could have major repercussions on the platform if people are all of a sudden having to deal with stalkers in real life because their home address was leaked and maybe they're not in a position where they can move.
So there are how do I put this? If people get doxxed from this, I think the federal government's going to get involved just because of the scope of leak it would be.
Yeah.
Also, Mob Lord in chat says, I keep seeing that stream keys were leaked. Can anyone who has seen the data confirm? Mob, I haven't seen leaked stream keys. It's just a good idea to change it if you have the ability to right now, just because it is almost certainly been compromised. But yeah, no, I do think that I don't think Twitch is in a good spot.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. So just to summarize or to wrap this up on a perhaps a actionable note, what would you recommend streamers do right now in terms of their own safety? Is it changing your passwords and that's it, and look into starting an LLC, or do you think that there's more to do than that?
So the information is out there.
Yeah.
You know, there's no putting it back in. So what you can do is you can do as much as you can to change the information that is out there to make it old news. And so, you know, changing your stream keys, changing your passwords, frankly, updating your backup emails so they can't spoof a 2FA if that's how you got it.
Okay.
You know, maybe creating a burner, that kind of thing, somewhere. So that would be a first start. That's the easy things you can do with 5 minutes of time. People could have done that while I've been on this call.
Guys, why haven't you? What are you guys doing in chat? Go do it right now.
Well, first of all, drop your Twitch Prime, but then go do it. And then so the next thing I would do is, if you're a streamer that is making at least $30K a year off of your content, and now we know who that is, funny enough. If you're a streamer that's making at least $30K a year, you should really look into setting up an LLC. Frankly, if you're not making $30K a year, it's probably a good idea to do it anyways, but you have to look at your budget for that.
Yeah.
And that way, you know, talk to a lawyer before you do that, so you don't dox yourself through the creation of an LLC. Because there's plenty of sites out there like LegalZoom and whatnot that will happily take your money and then put your home address on the internet. And in some states, you can't wipe that away. That's actually how the doc got swatted. And so talk to a lawyer before you do it, but set up an LLC so that you can have your contract with Twitch, your 1099 with Twitch, everything go through secure LLC that is separate from you.
Yeah, that's actually. I don't have an LLC, but I do have a virtual office, and that's where all of my mail goes to. So, and I just show up there once a month, and I go, "Hey, any mail for me?" And they go, "Yeah, this is your mail." I'm like, "Thank you," and that's it.
Did you get the muffins I sent you last month?
I did. They were rotten by the time I got them.
No, God!
It was the fresh berries in them. Just they didn't work out.
Yeah, the blueberries molded right over.
Yeah. But thanks for that.
So, of course, yeah, man. That would be my initial thing, and then I would, if you're a streamer that was in that top 10,000, talk to a lawyer. Not even most lawyers in the space will give you a free consult. I certainly do. I know my old law firm does. My new law firm does. Everything, and so talk to a lawyer, because I definitely think that there may be some action to be taken.
Right. All right.
Somebody in chat asks, what about phone numbers? Some people aren't in a position where they can change their phone number.
Such as me.
Yeah.
That's a long story, but go on. Sorry.
Oh, really? We'll have to talk about that offline. But so a lot of people aren't in a position where they can change their phone number. Some people have had that phone number since they were like in middle school, and if you're in my case, but updating your phone numbers with Twitch, even if it's to just get misinformation out there,
right?
Say, hey, here's a Google Voice number. Now people don't know which number is confirmed, that kind of thing.
Right.
Also, if anybody gets a pizza sent to their home, turn it around and send it back.
Yeah.
If you didn't order it.
Yep.
Yeah. Actually, what I would say is that person does not live here.
Yeah.
And so, because that indicates to me, I'm waiting for it to see if information has been privately disseminated. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you. No, I appreciate it. Appreciate your time, man.
Of course, buddy. You have a good one, and see you,
too.
chat. And Zach, hit me up if you need me.
Yeah, I probably will.
All right, peace,
All
bud.
right,
Bye.
see ya. So, guys, that is my lawyer friend. Make sure you follow him on Twitter. Again, if you are looking for an attorney, again, and nothing that we talked about there constitutes legal advice. Make sure you go check him out. Follow him. And yeah, you know, if you are in that upper tier, as he said, of income earners, perhaps you do need to speak to a lawyer currently, and Noah would be a good person to talk to. So, hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you click like, click subscribe up there, and then watch this video. What else you got to do? You're on YouTube anyways. You might as well watch something else. It's right there.